animated Anarchy series presents the animated Hour of Power.
All right, what's up, everybody? We are live. It is Saturday night. It is very windy here in the city of Warminster, Pennsylvania. Actually, pretty much in all of Philadelphia, it's windier than hell. Mother Nature is a blowing. And that's as far as I'm going to take that sentence. And of course, it is episode 26 of Animated Hour of Power here on the When Tunes Combined YouTube channel. We have the shows this week, then we have next week's shows, and then we move on into stage 3. Which stage 2 went by really fast, and by the way, stage 3 is probably going to go by even faster. And we'll talk about that in a little while. But of course, I am your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Money E.
What's up, people?
Wildcard Dave is with us.
Let's get it.
And Sean is with us.
Hola.
Yeah. I guess Sean likes doing the shows in his underwear now because he doesn't turn his camera on anymore.
It's funny that you think I'm actually wearing a pair.
Whoa.
Well, I'm trying to. Moving on.
Got him flustered. Or speechless, sorry.
Well, I mean, it's speechless because normally I would, if we were on my wrestling show, I would have no problem going down that path. But since I do usually try to say that this is a kid's show, even though that sometimes turns out to be a lie, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah.
Which I think we do a pretty good job.
We do.
I agree. There's always slip-ups here and there, but what podcast doesn't, you know?
Yeah, well, give it a few minutes. All right, so
just
tonight,
wait till I have to break a tie.
Yeah, then you'll start swearing. Be like,
I see it happening now.
Yeah.
13
the thing
minutes,
is, because I think sometimes it's done on purpose.
Feels that way.
I can solidly say that I don't purposely try to do it, but like there's some times where I'm like,
you're not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
The one I'm talking about is the one who claimed he was the first one in the chat room or first one in the studio, even though you had been waiting since 3:30.
Literally. Sitting in there since 3:30. I had my shit just ready.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Queued. I was queued, man.
It's like that Escobar photo of him standing in the pool.
Yeah.
That meme that goes around.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we'll see what ties have to be made. So the next couple of weeks, it's really going to be anime centered because for some reason, I save a lot of those battles for last because those are like the last ones I usually think of.
Save the best for last. That's what it is.
Yeah, we could call it that. Although I don't know if any of these animes would technically be considered the best.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Next week, a couple of them might be. And on Wednesday's show, a couple of them might be. The ones that we're doing tonight, I don't know.
I
don't think the ones we're doing tonight are very high tier.
Yeah.
I think they're in the mid tier.
Yeah.
Section.
So you might even say that tonight is a very mid-tier show, and I'll get into the lineup and explain why. Tonight we have Rising of the Shield Hero taking on Dragon Raja. By the way, if Dragon Raja gets swept, then they're going to be in that bottom of the tier, or that bottom tier territory. Speaking of bottom tier, we have Galaxy High taking on the Wild West Cowboys of MEESA. If somebody gets swept here, they're in the bottom tier where they belong. We have Kaiju number 8 taking on Ninja Kamui. If Ninja Kamui gets swept, they're going to go to that bottom of the barrel. And our main event is going to be Dr. Stone taking on Hell's Paradise. So could be a very mid episode, but we could try to make just about anything entertaining. If we start to really drift off, Eric will start doing belly dancing for all of us. That'll really get us some viewers.
Still waiting for the Tarzan suit.
Yeah. You know how long it took us to even get him to wear a Batman mask? You really think the Tarzan thing is going to happen?
One can only hope.
I mean, a deal's a deal.
It is true.
Hey, I was the
It
only
is
one.
true. He did agree to this.
Yeah, he did.
No, I didn't.
Well, that's
Yeah,
only
he
because
did.
you had him hogtied and were tickling him.
Eric, we have video proof. We can go back.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
3-0 vote. 'cause
We're
you weren't
actually
here.
we're actually not allowed to show that video, but
It's redacted.
mainly because of the copious amounts of whipped cream that were used. Anyway, so what's
No
going to
longer a
happen?
kid show.
Yeah, I told you it was going to happen. But now we'll move back to being a kid show, and so these guys are going to judge. The randomizers about ready to come out, tell us what categories we're going to use. So if a show wins 3-0, 30 points, 3-1 is 20 points, 3-2 is 10, and 5 for the loser. If you are swept, you lose 10 points. So go ahead. We'll share this up. And can everybody see the screen?
I'm seeing
Yep.
it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. One click.
Come on, come on.
Oi. Sean, you had to say it off air, didn't you?
I did, but at least it's number 4.
Yeah. That's like the best part.
I just don't like it when it's like 2.
Yeah.
Specifically, if it's 2.
So we got humor, character development, voice acting. We're going to deal with merch.
So we got mine and Sean's favorite back to back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't like voice acting.
Of course, no animation in this, and it's anime.
Yeah. Well, Dave, you're going to have to improvise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I was talking about, and I think we were talking about it last week, and it was mentioned on Wednesday's show. Starting on stage 3, I'm going to start giving the opportunity to where you guys can switch a category out. So how that's going to work is if we get a category that one of you doesn't like, you can say, hey, I want this one out, and you can even pick the category to go in.
Okay.
But
What if I'll say something later. Go ahead.
well, hold on. Let me finish, and then you can
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but what has to happen is if you say, and Sean, I'm going to use you as an example because of your ultimate hatred for merchandise. If you say, hey, I don't want merch, let's do theme song instead. One of the other two has to okay it. So like it would be like, hey, instead of merch, let's do theme song. We have to get a second. So either Eric or Dave would have to say, yeah, this is what we want. So it'll be like, all right. So you'll say it, and I'll be like, all right, does anybody second that? And if they say yes, then it'll be in. If they say no, then you got to deal with it.
Sweet.
What about a complete reroll?
Now only allowed. I mean, only one person allowed to change it, or what if all 3 of us want to change something?
Only one per episode.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Yeah.
So it's whoever says it first.
Yeah, only one per episode. Now, if somebody says, "Hey, I would rather change this," then it cannot be a. So if Sean gets overruled,
There's no other categories we can change. Gotcha.
Yeah. If Sean gets overruled and if like Dave says, well, instead of changing merch, what if we change this? So,
Okay.
so like if Sean gets turned down in order for Dave to say, well, instead of taking merch out, let's take out, fan base or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it can only be used once. So
Oh.
if Sean gets his way, again, this is metaphorically, if Sean gets his way, then nothing else can be changed for that episode. And we're going to start that in stage 3.
Works for me.
And that's in 2 weeks.
So, all right. So it's humor, character development, voice acting, merch, and memorable moments. We are going to start. The first battle of the evening is Dragon Raja taking on Rising of the Shield Hero. Rising of the Shield Hero in the division of Will Sharkey. It's 0-1, but it has 5 points. Dragon Raja, 0-1, negative 10 points in the division of Dave's Uncle Joe. So we start with humor. And so Dave, it's your genre. So you go ahead. You start us off. Whose humor was better?
I went with Dragon Raja here. I just felt they had some like comedic, wacky, absurd moments that were kind of, a little humorous to me. Rising of the Shield Hero, I finally there wasn't a lot of humor in it, but the humor was more like, coming from like them being like petty or like irony type of humor.
Yeah.
Which wasn't huge for me. So that reason why I went for Dragon Raja here.
Okay. Sean.
Yeah, I went with Dragon Raja. To me, the show was just a little more realistically funny.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, I agree with these guys. I think Dragon's has more humor, and other what was the other show? Shield Hero. I felt like it's more of a serious anime.
Yeah, no, I can see that. All right, so already Dragon Raja is not going to get swept, so there goes that drama out the window. But all right, we move on to the next category, which is character development. Who had better character development, Sean?
I gave this one to the Rising of the Shield Hero. Simply, I like the story better. It's a little more serious of a show too, and
yeah,
I think that helps with a little more like in depth of the characters' personalities and stuff.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually becoming one of my favorite animes.
Okay.
Is your wife just yelling at me for saying that?
Not you.
Yeah. You yelling at you, Doug.
Yeah. All right. Dave, go ahead.
I would have to agree with Sean here. I definitely feel like the Rising of the Shield Hero definitely has faster character development, as well as like you see his like growth directly linked to like his trauma and stuff like that, making like his development feel more earned than some other animes that are in the tournament. And I just feel like they had like the sickly slave child that was that they had. They made him brave, competent warrior. So like you've seen like a huge character growth there. Dragon Raja, it's just very sluggish with the character development. It seems like it takes a very long time for the characters to gain any real development.
Right. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I agree with these guys. I went with the Shield Hero. The Shield Hero. Rather than the Shield Hero.
Yeah. So, Eric, by the time we get done with this whole series, you'll be able to pronounce everything perfectly.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
I mean, this thing's going to take like 5 years to do, but
I'll be 45.
yeah. By the time this thing finishes, I might be dead.
Don't say that.
Yeah, well, anyway. All right. So we're tied 1-1. Nobody's getting swept here. We move on to voice acting. Eric, who had better voice acting?
What did I have? I have Hero. I think from what I read, I think they have the better actors, and I just like the voice acting. I think was more crisp.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah, I went with the Rising of the Shield Hero as well. I thought their original and their dub was very consistent and very good. I thought they hit solid performances with their emotions and standout scenes with their voice acting. Um, Dragon Raja, I thought it wasn't as consistent, so that's why I went the opposite way here.
All right. And Sean?
Yeah, Shield Hero as well. Dave took my point of it not of Raja not being very consistent.
Right.
That's literally what I had written down.
Well, great minds think alike.
Yep. I was just gonna say that too.
Yeah. Oh God, we're all in sync. All right. So Rising of the Shield Heroes up 2-1. They can win the battle in this next category, which is merch. Who had the better merch? And Sean, you're gonna start.
I gave this one to Shield Hero. Everything I saw, I found like their numbers were a tad bit higher.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Eric.
I went the other way. From what I read, it was Dragon that had a little bit more merch. I think more value.
All right. Well, we were all in sync. But all right. So Dave, that means you get to break a tie. So you get to decide if this one goes another round or not.
And I'm not seeing it go another round. I'm giving this one to the Rising of the Shield Hero. It has high demand. It has strong sales. The manga has over 6.2 million copies sold in just Japan. This is a global popularity as well. Dragon Raja, it has limited merch. It doesn't have a lot of physical extensive merch that you could go out there and get. It has more of like a gotcha game with like microtransactions type deal. That's where they get a lot of their revenue that I was seeing. So I went with the Rising of the Shield Hero just because it has more of a global popularity and it has a high demand for figures and the manga and so on and so forth.
All right, fair enough. All right, Rising of the Shield Hero is going to get 20 points out of this. They're going to win 3-1. Dragon Raja is not going to lose anything because they did win a category. By the way, and I know this is going to make Dave do cartwheels. None of the animes yet have reached that bottom tier territory. None of the animes yet have negative 20 points. So
that's right, baby. That's
now
right.
There's still an opportunity for that to happen. So don't cartwheel yet. Mainly because I don't know if you're actually able to do one or not. But
I can do one.
All right, well.
I can do one. I can do anything I put my mind to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have to have Amanda push her legs over for you. All right. We move on to the next battle. Galaxy High School versus the Wild West Cowboys of MEESA. Wild West Galaxy High School in the division of Shane. They're 0-1 and they have negative 10 points. I'm pretty sure. I gotta actually go back and look at because I know Galaxy High was Eric wasn't around when Galaxy High went into battle the first time around. But I remember we were, ripping that show apart. So
I can
they're
see why.
Huh?
I can see why.
0-1, negative 10 points in the division of Shane. Wild West Cowboys and MEESA. 0-1, negative 10 points in the division of Mike Burns. Somebody gets swept, they're going in the bottom. They're going in the bottom tier. We start with humor. Who had better humor, Dave?
I went with the Wild West Cowboys of MEESA. I just thought their puns were a little. They had pretty decent puns here and there, like cowatized and stuff like that. That comes off the mind. And they had some pretty good energy with it. So that's the reason why I went with them.
Yeah. All right, Sean.
Yeah, I went with the Wild West Cowboy.
All right.
Galaxy High was very stale and just kind of pathetic.
You're telling me. Eric?
I went with Wild West too. I didn't see any humor in the Galaxy.
Yeah. In my opinion, there's one category that I think Galaxy High is only one opinion in my only one category in my opinion that Galaxy High is capable of winning in this battle, in my opinion, and we didn't get it. So
I have to give it to 2, but
all right, well, don't keep us in suspense. Or actually keep us in suspense till we get to it. We move on to character development. Who had the better character development, Eric?
from what I've seen, Wild West. I don't think there was much in Galaxy High, if any.
Okay. All right. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with the Wild West Cowboys of MEESA here. You see some growth with like Cody Calf. He's begins as more of like a tag along kid, and he evolves into like a nice ally to the Lockhouse. So you see him gain like responsibility and skill over the course of the show. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of character development in the other show. To be honest, it was very minimal.
Right.
So therefore, I went with Wild West Cowboys.
All right. Sean?
Yeah, same Wild West Cowboys here. Galaxy High was definitely the show is like what you see is what you're getting.
Yeah. It's funny because I've kind of compared Galaxy High and Gravedale High because they were both done by NBC because NBC had a thing for high school shows.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. And Gravedale High has been doing pretty good in this series. By the way, they're 2-0 and 50 points. This show is just like, and Gravedale High is really not that good. It just happens to go up against shows that it can just beat. This show,
Put these two together.
huh?
You should put those two shows together.
I think at one point they're going to, or I'm going to. But this show, I swear, this is the show that, like, if you go into wrestling terms, this is the show. This is a very old school wrestling reference. I don't know if anybody's going to get it. But this is Galaxy High is the Brooklyn Brawler of cartoons, as in this is that's the guy that you can put up against any cartoon, and you know that cartoon will beat the crap out of him.
Damn.
So, all right. We move on to voice acting. Wild West Cowboys and MEESA is up 2-0. I'm going to get sued by the Brooklyn Brawler. And Sean, we start with you. Who had the better voice acting?
I gave this one hands down to Wild West Cowboys. I think their lineup was pretty solid with having like Tim Curry, Brad Garrett, and Mark Hamill and stuff.
Yeah.
And people.
Yeah.
Their lineup was just a lot better, and their deliveries and stuff were believable.
Yeah, and by the way, in the 90s, if you wanted a show to have like somewhat moderate success, those are three guys that you call on to voice your characters. Because you
Galaxy
saw
High did have Nancy Cartwright on it. in it.
Mhm.
Their lineup wasn't as bad, but not as strong.
But all right, Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Sean here. Their cast, I just felt, was a lot larger and a lot more legendary. In my eyes, they had Jim Cummings, who did Darkwing Duck. They had the guy that, the person that played Winnie the Pooh. I'm pretty sure, right?
Well, yeah, that was Jim Cummings.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Um, and then Pat Fraley. I'm pretty sure he did some voice acting in there
Oh
as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Oh
He did some things on TMT, right?
yes.
Yes. And then I have Jeff Bennett down as well. Um,
Yeah,
I just feel
you're
like,
naming some pretty legendary voice actors.
yeah, along with
But
the ones that Sean just named. So like he named those ones that are huge stars. I just named a bunch of huge stars that played
yeah.
in a bunch
Well,
bunch of
Jim
different
Cummings
things.
is the godfather, in my opinion. He's the godfather of voice acting.
Yeah. So when you compare it to Gravedale High's voice acting crew, it
Galaxy High.
just or Galaxy High, sorry. It just doesn't stand out as much.
Right. All right, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with these guys. You have legendary voice actors in Wild West.
All right, Wild West Cowboys of MEESA is going to get the win, 3-0. So they're going to get out of the hole. They are going to get the 30 points. And Galaxy High School is going to go to -20. So they are now in that bottom tier. And I'm not surprised. But let me ask you guys this. Is there any categories at all that you had Galaxy High winning?
Animation and theme.
I think their theme song is way better than MEESA.
Yeah, that's why I did.
I only gave it to.
I have two categories.
All right. What were they, Dave?
Theme song like you suggested, and then I gave them animation.
All right.
Yep.
Sean, what
that's
did you
me
Sean,
and
what did
Dave
you have
agreed.
them
Yep.
winning?
I only had them winning theme song.
Well, at least we all agreed on that they have a really good theme song. Other than that, like
The animation was close for me.
Yeah.
So to me it could have been a toss up, but I would have gave it to Galaxy High.
That's funny that me and Dave agreed on that, and I didn't even ask him about it.
Well, and the funny thing is that like with theme song, I don't know. To me, it's just a lot catchier. And I'm not dogging MEESA's theme song at all because it was also pretty catchy because it also had words. And if you like Wild West Cowboy songs, then that is the song for you. Okay. But to me, Galaxy High, like that's gonna be if they can somehow get theme song in battles and it's early enough to where like they can get a score, they can win a category. That's the one category they can win.
Yeah.
Depending on the show they're going against. By the way, I will let everybody know I am working on power rankings. So I'm ranking all 244 shows. Lord help me. Right now, and the rankings will be out after stage 2 is done. I know, Eric, you're going to work on the leaderboard again after stage 2 is done, right? You're going to update the leaderboard. So I figured I'd put
give me the info and then.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I figured since you have to do all that, I figured I might as well join in your misery and, work on stuff, work on power rankings myself. So, and I forgot what one of the shows I just ranked. I forgot which one it was, it was Care Bears. And I put them in a pretty high ranking because they have a lot of points. And the reason I gave for them having a high ranking is as long as they get merchandise they have a good chance as long as they get merchandise in every battle. They have a good shot at winning,
Oh yeah.
or at least like staying out of, or at least staying from getting swept, because like quite a few shows in this series, they were one of the ones. They were a cartoon that was created just because they had merchandise. But all right, before we get too far off track here, the next battle is Kaiju number 8 taking on Ninja Kamui. Kaiju number 8 is in the division of Matthew Gore. It's 1-0. It's got 10 points. Ninja Kamui 0-1, negative 10 points, in the division of Baron Ziegler. Ninja Kamui gets swept. They go to the bottom of the barrel territory. We start with humor. Dave, your genre, so you start.
Okay, and I went with Kaiju number 8 here. I just thought it was a little more relatable. I felt like it was more intentional to have a little more humor in there. They had some lighthearted moments. Like you got a relatable like 30-something-year-old character who gets his humor from like awkwardness and his interaction with the younger people in the show. So Ninja Kamui, I didn't really see a lot of humor. If there was humor, it was more on the exaggerated violence and the gore.
Yeah.
So it'd be more dark humor, but it just wasn't a lot of it. But so that reason I went with Kaiju number 8.
Fair enough. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. There's just more humor in this one, number 8, and then there's nothing in Ninja.
All right, Sean.
Sweep it.
All right. They're 1-0. They're 2 away from a sweep. We move on to character development, and Sean, go ahead and start.
I gave this one to, I'm going to butcher it, the one I just picked, Kaiju number 8. I was more captivated with the story, and I think the characters and everything helped make the story what it was perfectly.
Now, Eric, when we butcher the names of shows, do you get that little smile on your face like, ha ha, I'm not the only one that butchers a name? Because I would, because as much as we make fun of you for it, like when we do it, it's just be like, ha ha, you stupid sons of.
No, because it's not in me to make fun of somebody else that has trouble too.
You're too good of a guy.
I would feel bad afterwards.
We need to change that. All right, but Eric, you're up next.
Up next, I agree with Sean.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I agree with these two. I went with Kaiju number 8. I just felt like it had a lot more development, people overcoming past failures and self-acceptance and stuff like that. They really hit with Ninja Kamui. I just felt like it was like a John Wick but anime type deal.
All right, now Dave's gonna get sued by Keanu Reeves.
No, he's a nice guy. I doubt he would.
Yeah, he'd just be like, "Wait a minute, you're." He goes, "Wait a minute, you're about to put an anime in the bottom of the barrel, and you're comparing him to my, $200 million movie franchise."
No, I'm just saying, like, it was more of like that style, like where they're just going around killing.
I know. I'm just screwing with you. But my answer to Keanu Reeves would be like Johnny Mnemonic, pal. That movie sucked. So if you guys have no idea what movie I'm talking about, that actually proves my point. All right. We move on to voice acting. Kaiju number 8 is up 2-0. They can sweep it here. Who had the better voice acting, Eric?
I went with, from what I read, I went with Ninja.
You went with Ninja Kamui?
Yep.
All right.
I could be wrong.
Or go ahead. Keep going.
No, I said I could be wrong on this. We'll find out with Dave.
I was just gonna say I'm going to him next.
Yeah, and I think you're totally wrong. I went with Kaiju number 8 here. There's a lot of reviews about Ninja Kamui saying it's like atrocious, robotic, and after watching it for a little while, you can kind of see that and kind of hear it.
Mhm.
I feel like the performance for Kaiju number 8, I thought it was stellar. I thought they did a really good job hitting those high emotional moments, and their English dub was just as good as their Japanese version, I thought, or at least on par with, and that's hard to do with anime. A lot of English dub gets a lot of hate, or gets a lot of backlash because it's just not up to par. But in this show, I think they did a solid job doing that.
All right, Sean.
Okay.
It took us 36 minutes to get here.
Lovely.
Huh?
I said lovely.
Yeah.
I want-
Usually it takes us a lot less than that. But
yeah, normally it's like in between 13 minutes.
yeah, exactly. So I held it off as long as I could.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Oh yeah, by the way, break the tie.
Oh, yeah. I have Kaiju winning this one. The actors did an amazing job, I think, portraying the character they're supposed to be, making a lot of the moments like not relatable, but like just admirable, I guess.
Yeah.
And
All right.
like Ninja Kamui was just like Dave said, it's kind of like the same thing, like John Wick.
Yeah.
Only not John Wick. More like Austin Powers on a death level.
All right. Well, Mike Myers isn't relevant anymore, so he's not going to sue any of us.
Until I see a giant cat in a hat appear with a bat behind my back.
Yeah.
Sit down, Richie, talking.
And your kids just cheering them on because they happen to be fans of Dr. Seuss.
Mhm.
Anyway, so Kaiju number 8 is going to win this 3-0. They're going to get the 30 points. So after many weeks and many cartoons heading into the bottom of the barrel, we finally find out which anime is the worst right now. I mean, it's only one of like 70 something or however many anime are in this, but Ninja Kamui has negative 20 points. But it's also not one of the best animes, so I don't think, Dave, I don't think you're too upset about it, are you?
No, not upset at all.
All right, good. All right, just as long as everybody's, there's no emotional attachment here. All right, we move on to the main event, which is Dr. Stone versus Hell's Paradise. Dr. Stone 0-1, 5 points in the division of Kaylee Fox. Hell's Paradise 0-1, 5 points in the division of Sean Stranahan. We start with humor, and Dave, who was funnier?
I went with Dr. Stone here. I just thought like they're over the moment scenes, like where they're just like the characters are exaggerating, or like the reactions of their faces or whatnot were kind of comedic at points. It was definitely absurd humor, but in Hell's Paradise there wasn't a lot of humor. It's a very dark setting, so there's not a lot of humor, if at all any. Like this is a pretty dark show, so I went with Dr. Stone here.
All right. Eric, go ahead.
I agree with Dave. I found Dr. Stone just a little more humor than Hell's Paradise. I think Hell's Paradise is more dark and more serious.
Okay. Sean?
Yeah, sweep it here. I was laughing more at Dr. Stone than trying to find somewhere to laugh in Hell's Paradise.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing at Hell's Paradise.
I mean, a lot of people do laugh in Hell. That's also because they have twisted senses of humor, but Hell's Paradise, they don't laugh as much. they're usually just more, relaxing as Satan is poking them with a pitchfork. But anyway, we move on to character development. Who had the better character development, Sean?
I actually gave this one to Hell's Paradise just because of how dark the show actually is.
Okay. All right. And Dave, go ahead.
This one was tough because I felt like you could have went either way. I feel like Hell's Paradise gives you more of like a psychological, emotional depth and transformation, and then Dr. Stone, you get more of like the cast development, more skills that they acquire and whatnot. So really just depends what you preferred, and I think I went with Hell's Paradise here.
All right. Eric?
Yep, sweep it. I just found there's more emotion in Hell's Paradise and the story arc. I think of the characters is more intriguing.
Fair enough. All right. 1-1. No sweep happening. But we move on to the next category, which is voice acting. Who had the better voice acting? Eric, you're going to start.
I went with Hell's Paradise. From what I read and watched, I just found it more captivating. Did I say that right?
I don't even know what you were trying to say. It's probably something I can't even spell. Were you trying to say captivating?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You lost me when you were trying to say a big word because it's one I can't really say that well either. So, A for effort.
I don't know how that stuck that was in my head, so I just said it.
A for effort, though, Eric.
Thank you.
No
Thought
problem.
it was E.
All right. Dave, go ahead.
This one was also tough for me. I thought they both did pretty good in the voice acting here. Dr. Stone is more of like high energy, while Hell's Paradise is more of like intense emotional acting. So I went with the intense emotional one. I think it's a little harder to pull that off than being high energy and explosive with your voice acting. Hitting that emotional side and getting people to gravitate towards that, I feel, takes a little more skill and effort. So I went with Hell's Paradise.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I said I'm not even saying anymore.
You hit the high mark, Eric. Quit while you're ahead. All right, John.
I went with Hell's Paradise. A lot more emotion. It sounded more dedicated too. So
yeah. All right. Hell's Paradise is up 2-1. They can win it in Sean's favorite category, which is merch. Normally I would usually punish Sean and have him go first because it's his favorite category, but I'm gonna let up a little bit. And Dave, you're gonna start.
Yeah, I went with Dr. Stone here for merch. It has over 19 million copies sold as of 2025. It's longer running. It has a broader appeal. It can appeal to a family friendly type deal as well. So I feel like that translates to a higher merchandise volume being sold as well when you have a bigger, broader appeal to different demographics. So because they've been around longer, they have all these sales already. They have a broader approach to their customer. I went with Dr. Stone.
Okay. Eric, did you raise your hand? Did you want to go next?
Yeah, but I agree with Dave. I just wanted to raise my hand to keep suspense. But
All right, go
yeah,
ahead.
I went with Dr. Stone. I read the same stuff that he did.
All right. Sean, go ahead.
yeah, I also had Dr. Stone.
All right. So we're going to the fifth category. It's memorable moments. Who had the more memorable moments, Sean?
I gave this one to Hell's Paradise. I think just the lore of the show and like the voice acting and stuff just made moments come easy.
Okay. Eric.
I went the other way. I went Dr. Stone. I found there was more moments in that show. But I think there was memorable moments in both, but Dr. Stone was more memorable.
All right. Well, this is ironic. Dave's the one breaking the tie. They're both anime. So, Dave, take Sean's gimmick.
Yeah, this one again was very tough for me. I feel like they both have considerable amount of memorable moments. But I went with Hell's Paradise here. I just felt like their visceral action, their emotional character moments that they had, the intriguing world and villains that they had in the show, definitely caught your attention and were memorable. That's nothing against Dr. Stone. Their science moments and whatnot, they were pretty good, but I got to give it to Hell's Paradise.
All right.
It was a tough one, as Dave said.
All right, so Hell's Paradise is going to win it 3-2. They're going to get 10 points out of this. Dr. Stone loses another close one, but they get 5 points again. So they're 0-2 and they still have 10 points.
Yeah, at least they're not in the negative.
Huh?
At least they're not in the negative.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So that was a close one. Now, of course, like I said, we got some big battles coming up, including on Wednesday's Animated Showdown. And these are going to be big because these are going to have an effect on when Eric does the leaderboard.
Okay.
If I can click on the right notepad here. All right. Coming up Wednesday on Animated Showdown, we have the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy taking on Legends of Tarzan. Neo Angelique taking on Death Note. Chalk Zone versus Amazing World of Gumball. Magi Kingdom of Magic, which I have been screwing up for the last couple of weeks because I thought Kingdom and Labyrinth were the same thing. Goes to show how much I know. Takes on Devil May Cry. And the main event is Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog taking on Tasmania.
That's going to be tough. I'll say that right now.
You really think so?
Yeah. I
Because
had a hard time with some of the categories.
well, you're also a Sonic guy. But and I'm not knocking you, but Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is considered by a lot of people as being one of the worst Sonic shows.
Okay, fair enough.
It's basically it's the opinion among the Sonic fan base. But if you had trouble with it, then at least they have one fan. All right. Next Saturday on Animated Hour of Power, the last animated hour of Power of Stage 2, by the way. It's going to be the New Gate taking on Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy. Sekirei is going to take on Attack on Titan. Fire Force takes on Dan to Dan. And the main event is going to be Pinky and the Brain taking on the Dino Saucers. So, that is what we got coming up. Now, this is something that I wanted to let everybody know. We'll do it, on air. So, like I said, 2 weeks we start Stage 3. Now, one of the big things we had for Stage 3 is we all picked a show to where it was all hand-picked battles by us. Sean and we each picked like 6 battles for a show. So Sean picked a show of 6 battles. Eric picked one of 6 battles. So did Dave. So did I. So, and I'm going to give everybody time for this. So they're not going to be primetime specials because it's kind of hard to find time to do that like during the week.
Yeah.
So they are going to be they're not necessarily going to be episodes of Animated Hour of Power and Animated Showdown, although they're going to take those time slots.
Okay.
So it's going to be stuff that we are going to record on the night we usually record. And we could probably get through them pretty quick because sometimes, like we did an episode of 8 battles the other day, and it only took us like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty easy. But I'm going to give everybody time because the caveat is whoever picked those battles, they're hosting that show. And that would mean I'm going to be the judge.
I can't wait to see these guys host.
Well, you're not going to have to wait too long.
Oh yeah.
Not
Who's up
gonna be as
first?
good as
Who's
Doug.
up first? Eric or Sean?
Well, I'm getting to that. 3 weeks. So we're going to have next week's finale of stage 2. Then we're going to move on to stage 3, and it's going to be regular episodes. But then after that, so 3 weeks from tonight, we're going to start off. Eric is going to be the first one to host.
Okay.
I'm giving you 3 weeks to get ready. Okay? Because I know, hosting isn't necessarily your thing because you really don't even have to do a lot of research. You could just do you could just wing it but still like have like some stuff prepared. But I'm giving you 3 weeks to get ready.
Yeah. I usually host my own show, so I'm used to it.
You're gonna have the live show.
Yeah.
The pre-recorded show is gonna go to Dave.
Okay.
So it's gonna be the live show is gonna be Eric. The pre-recorded show is gonna go to Dave. So you two will be the first ones up.
Okay.
And I did that kind of on purpose because the two of you have been so buddy that I felt like it was appropriate. And plus, I'm also trying to give Sean more time to get ready to do his hosting.
Thank you.
Yeah. And for some reason, I just thought
These guys are both conveniently going to be sick those days. Watch. I'll be there. I ain't scared of that.
Well, here's the thing. I think if anybody can do a better job of hosting one of these shows, a better job of hosting the show, probably better than me, it's going to be you. Because you have all the knowledge, and especially the battles that you picked, which are mostly anime. There's one cartoon battle in there.
Yep.
But it's mostly anime, and you can go further into detail about the anime.
Yeah.
So obviously you are, one of the better choices, to host. And that's not a knock on the other two. It's just also
I agree with that.
It's just also Sean has also just told me, he goes, I never want to host a show. But in several weeks' time, he's going to have that opportunity. But I also just kind of think it's more appropriate. Eric and Dave have been so buddy, so they're going to be the first two that are going to have the opportunity to host. And then Sean and I will be lumped together, another time.
I blame you, Eric, because
I'd rather be first anyway. Get it?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Well,
I'm down anytime.
Well, and by the way, the idea for when we did the judge's choice and everybody picked the battles, the idea for whoever picks the battles gets to host the show. Dave, that was your idea.
Yep.
So
you're welcome, guys. I put you in those situations.
Yeah. And
I know Sean hates me right now.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy when he wasn't too happy the night we came up with it either, but
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's only one time.
Yeah.
You just gotta do a little studying.
Yeah.
Now, Doug, are you still gonna do the whole spin the wheel yourself?
Yeah, I'll still take care of all that. Like I'll take care of the randomizer. Obviously, I'll be the one keeping score. I'll give the scores as we're going along. So I'm still going to be the one writing everything down.
So I'm just basically asking a question.
You're basically just going to throw it to everybody. All right, here's what you think. This is the category that we're doing. Who takes this? Who takes that?
And if you have a little information about it, you can put it
Yeah.
out there too.
Yeah.
Yep. Or your opinion, you can just throw your opinion out there and then
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, so I'm basically still doing like the majority of the, keeping score and all that. Because I'm not going to let you guys run me out of business that much. But yeah, so that's in 3 weeks. So I'm giving, and I'm saying I'm giving Eric mostly because I know Dave's going to be prepared for it anyway. But Eric, I'm giving you like 3 weeks to get ready.
that's the first week of March, right? Or second.
3 weeks from today, bro.
3 weeks from today, so
20,
it's going to be the
21
end
days.
of February.
21 days.
Yeah.
Eric.
So we're finishing up stage 2 next week. Then we're going to do a regular night of a regular night of shows in 2 weeks. Then in 3 weeks, it's going to be these shows, which, by the way, has some very unique battles, which we'll get into at some point. But so, all right, make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Also, like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast on YouTube. This Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be covering New Year's Revolution 2006. Like and subscribe to the Unscripted Sports Show on YouTube. You're going to find Dave on Twitch at TCX Godsend 95. And also follow Sean on Twitch at Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Kick on TCAX Reaper. And also do what he says at the bottom of his screen where he says, follow Godsend on Twitch. Let's make him famous. Godsend, by the way, would be Dave.
I don't know if I need to be famous, but
yeah. Let's get him some of that Logan Paul money.
hey, you guys give me that. I'm sharing with everybody that ever supported. I'm bringing us all up.
Yeah. You're not gonna all make us. You're not gonna all make us all fall for some crypto scam.
No, yeah, exactly. See, I'd buy an island, and then I would have y'all just come live there with me in my mansion, bro. We just living the good life. We'll have a couple mansions there, so
I like it.
Yeah.
But Eric, just so you know, he's got to share the master bedroom with his wife. He can't share it with you.
Oh, I know.
All right.
Eric's going to the doghouse. It's still a mansion, though, Eric. It's still gonna be a mansion.
It's gonna be a golden doghouse.
Yeah.
All right. Also, like and subscribe to the Dizzle 97 YouTube channel and Twitch, and the Stabcast with Daniel and Mindy as well. We'll see everybody Wednesday for Animated Showdown.
Awesome.